is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. Hey, John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
I want to thank you, first of all, before I ask you about the stock, you and the board and all the gang at TFNN. I had a really, really good year after the October call you guys made. My 401k is up 72%.
Congratulations, man.
A couple of things I made with Coinbase and other stocks that I made, and I've had a good year.
And we appreciate you growling and prowling with us, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the final hour of the trading day. Thanks for joining me, and we're coming into a long weekend. President's Day, Washington's birthday on Monday, and yeah, markets closed, federal holiday, so we won't be live here. We'll be in the den. S&Ps right now, we have an inflation Friday. CPI number comes in at 2.4%, 2.5% on a core basis. And the markets, we got lower yields, and the market's taking it and running with it right now, as if we don't have a problem in inflation, and we're gaining 130,000 jobs a month, and the Fed is going to be able to cut because inflation is not a problem. And we'll see if we can hold on to these gains, but that's the sentiment out there today. S&P is up by 15 points, up by 0.2% at 68.65. NASDAQ 100. You see the slide yesterday. Early today at 9:30 on the open, you were as low as 24,600, right up to 25,000, just shy of that number this afternoon, and we're back a bit, still up by 0.4%. The Dow up by 90 points, 49,621, and the Russell up by 1.4%. Yeah, when you got lower yield coming at you, the Russell loves that. Leading the way up by 1.4%. Bitcoin up $3,500, participating. Ethereum up 144, up 7.5%. Crude right now at $62.76, and yields, the biggest move today. You check out yields, up by 12 ticks. Now, how about we had jobs Wednesday. The market has 130,000 jobs. Yields spike higher under the sentiment that this economy is too hot to cut. And just like that, here we are. More than a full point above where we were Wednesday morning, and we're about half a point above where we were coming into that number. We're sitting at 4.06 on the 10-year right now. 4.06, the yield on the 10-year. You jump over the dollar, just under 97 at 96.92. We take a look at the dollar on a daily basis. Let's put it back to a weekly even. Look at that tough week, right? We had one reprieve, and just like that, we're back under 97 right now. And all we really did is kind of bounce to this same area that we couldn't break through initially, 97. It's going to be an important week next week. And with the weaker dollar, metals catching a bit of a bid. Quite a sell-off yesterday, and you almost get it all back. We're right where we were at 9:45 yesterday morning. Meanwhile, you dropped $200 in the span of about 35 minutes in gold. Gold up $103 at 5,052. And silver right now up $1.50, up 2% at 77.20. You can see, right? Silver. Okay, be careful in silver, folks. Look at what just happened in gold and silver, right? Gold, you were right back to where we were yesterday. You didn't get that back in silver. Didn't get it back at all. Gold got it all back. Silver? No. Silver was 82 yesterday. We're at 77 right now. And you take a look at the volume. Hey, even today, look at this volume. 53,000 contracts on silver. My goodness. I mean, the volume that was sustaining this run higher was 150, 130, 120, 160, right? Yesterday's pullback was 85, and your bounce today is on 53,000. It's barely a bounce. Gold, a little bit better setup. Price-wise, a better setup. Volume-wise, a better setup, too. 113,000 contracts, but still, be nice to see a day where you had some real buy-in at 200,000 contracts, 175,000 contracts. Nothing like that. Your last buying was this acceleration here, and that's last Friday. But this week is nothing in the metals market for volume. Platinum right now, you're up by $56 or 2.7%. In platinum, you're doing 15,000 contracts coming into 17,000 yesterday. That's a nice bounce on platinum. Let's take a look at copper. Yeah, look at copper. Copper looks strong, man. Copper, you're bouncing a bit today, but on more volume. Basically flat. We bounced a bit off the lows. Let's check out the short term. Yeah, down to 560 and change, 578 in copper. All right, NVIDIA. Quite a race out of the gate. NVIDIA down by $4. That's $100 billion, folks, market cap. Now, NVIDIA, I mean, look at this thing. Right at the top of its range. The bottom of the range at about 170. You're trading at 180, 297 right now. On a daily, no real volume on today's pullback. Yesterday, yeah, we had some volume there. But again, you're coming into this huge strength. NVIDIA had huge strength Friday and Monday, the 6th and the 9th. Take a look at the weekly on NVIDIA. So important to this market. Yeah, that was a lot of volume last week. Not a bad setup. You get some volume out here from November. But this is a nice consolidation, building some strength. We'll see which way we can break out on NVIDIA. Apple. Check out that weekly on Apple. Now, you're not doing it on volume. But, you know, if I told you at the end of last week, hey, guess what? Apple's about to take the entire week back. You'd say, come on. You got to be kidding me, right? That was a heck of a week, man. From 259 to 281, you close at 278. Nope, here we are at 257 on Apple. And yeah, that was quite a day yesterday. Apple down almost 5.5%. Hey, if you're watching Apple, you know, you're right at the top end of that channel as you're rejected. At bottom end of that channel, as low as 220, 219. And Apple likes to trade in that channel. Look at this thing. Now, the bottom part of the channel didn't really start forming until the beginning of 2023. But the top part of this, well-defined from 20, 21, 24. Yeah, again, and where we bounced to in 2025. All right, some of the equities moving. Let's talk about it. Pinterest, look at this chart. Whew. Breaking below the lows of 2022. I think you might be heading for $10, folks. Nothing in the way of this thing. I mean, if you're a technical chartist, right? What do you step in front of, man? This thing is going back to the lows of 2020. Pinterest down by 18.2% on their numbers. Whew. Talk about some volatility, man. And yeah, Expedia as well. Talking about AI fears, a material risk they disclose. Out with their numbers, but that's what they're talking about. Down by 6.1% on Expedia. And for a positive side, Rivian. Whew, look at this thing. Up by 29%. That's a nice sign of strength on a weekly basis. Quite a pullback on the daily. Check out the monthly on this thing. Be nice if we get a little bit more volume on a monthly. We got half a month to go, I guess. 372 million. Rivian up by 29%. We'll come right back, folks.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. Welcome back, folks. And yeah, we got a little bit of selling coming into the closing bell right now. And we got 42 minutes left to go in trading. And you got a market right now that's a good 45 points off the highs in the S&Ps. You're positive by 4 points right now. Trading at 68.55. We take a look at the VIX, 20.56 on its way back up. NASDAQ 100 up by 52 right now. You take a look at the heat map. It's not the big companies. It's almost everything else, right? You look at this chart. This is the S&P 500 we're looking at here. All the big companies are in red. The smaller companies. I mean, it's interesting, right? NVIDIA, Broadcom, Apple. This is their market capitalization. How about Broadcom? $1.5 trillion company, Broadcom. I don't think many people outside of financial professionals, traders, smart men and women like yourself probably listening to this program. If you're in the market, you might have an idea of Broadcom and the size, but even that, right? 1.5 trillion. Apple's at 3.7. Broadcom, 1.5 trillion. My goodness. But yeah, you got a lot of red in the leaders. Microsoft flat, NVIDIA off by 2%, Apple 1.5, Google 0.8%, and Meta off a full percentage point. Amazon's been in the red. Look at that, right? So we got a positive market, but it's not the big equities that have been driving this market. That's the S&P 500. You jump over the NASDAQ 100. Look at AMAT. Let's check out AMAT, up by 10%. All right, positive on their numbers last night. Look at this thing. Whew. That's some solid volume, folks. Okay? You'd like to see it break over last week's with more volume, but boy, and you might. You're not going to do 6 million shares probably in the last hour. You might. You've already done 12 million on a huge earnings day. Probably not at the close. Oh boy, look at that chart, man. AMAT, straight run from 121 to 356. All right, talking about the inflation numbers. Month over month, if we stay here, oh boy, rates are going lower, folks. Month over month, 0.2% on the CPI. The estimate was 0.3. The core CPI up 0.3%. Okay. Year over year, we're at a 2.4% headline number, and core is at 2.5% number. They're good numbers. No way around that, man. Services costs picked up last month. Prices of core goods remain stable. The core CPI rose from a year ago by the least since 2021. Yeah, core CPI, 2.5%. I mean, if you're talking about we're just dealing with inflation between 2 and 2.5%, that might be the new norm, folks. That could very well be the new norm. Services prices, excluding energy, were up 0.4%, the most since July. Airfares were up by the most since mid-2022. Auto rentals and parking costs also climbing. Goods prices, excluding food and energy, unchanged for the second month. Used car prices declined by the most in 2 years. And the cost of new vehicles were only up a bit. Still, core goods prices, when you take out used vehicles, rose by the most in nearly 3 years. There's got to be so much volatility from industry to industry, pricing to pricing, services to goods, month to month, right? That there's always going to be some statistic somewhere in here that on both sides of it's going to say, well, this one hasn't done this in 2 years and this one hasn't done that in 4 years. It's just the nature of you have enough statistics in there to compare everything against. All right, now you talk about the market. So we have some monumental IPOs coming down the line this year. SpaceX, going to be one of them. And what's the new company now? Is it SpaceX? Is it SpaceXI? They recently acquired XAI. Okay, so it's just SpaceX. All right. Well, now we're talking about special shares. And hey, you know, they all the tech founders get their special shares, right? There's no reason why Musk would not get his special shares if he's getting a $55 billion pay package on the side of Tesla. Everybody already has special shares. Nobody has a $55 billion pay package besides Musk. So they're weighing dual class shares in an IPO to empower Musk, as well as select shareholders. Extra voting power, that's how it shakes down. They're considering it. I don't know what's to consider, right? The only way it doesn't happen is if there's enough pushback, and I imagine that won't be a problem. And that's going to allow him to maintain greater control of SpaceX, XAI rolled up into that whole deal. So they're seeking to hold an IPO where they're going to raise $50 billion to fund data centers in space. You're going to need a lot more money than that, man, to fund data centers in space. They actually make revenue, though, right? They have many contracts that they're already making revenue, which is remarkable. Ongoing details could change, but yeah, I would expect that's, as they say, common among U.S. tech firms, Meta, Google, and enable founders to focus on a longer-term vision and maintain control. Now, they're only allowed to happen because investors allow them to happen, and you buy the shares, right? In an essence, as in, for the long time, Wall Street would have balked at the idea that you owned a company and got no say whatsoever of how it was controlled. You just handed over blanket control, and people just went into these tech investments so bad that just went out the wayside. And you have many of those companies with longer-term tech visions for control. And, you know, if you're going to give it to them, I'm sure Musk's going to get it as well. Yeah, 10 to 20 votes under a dual-class structure that gives Musk super voting shares. He would have the control. He praised the tiered structure and proposed the creation of a dual class of Tesla shares to have at least 25% voting control, threatening to build his AI if that didn't happen. And that then leads to that, they call it a $1 trillion compensation package here, which would boost his stake to more than 25% of the company. Pretty remarkable in the context of SpaceX that we're talking about. We're not talking about Tesla. Right, he's going to have dual-class shares owning SpaceX at the same time. He's got a $1 trillion pay package as the CEO of Tesla. Part of that reason that he's got that package is to keep him invested in that. Pretty remarkable that you're paying him that type of money while all of this stuff is going on in his private company right now. But hey, that's what makes the market, man. He's got buyers, and if you got buyers, he's telling the story, and people are buying it. All right, we talk about the odds of a cut, and yeah, that number, close to almost 50%, whether we get a third cut right now. 63 basis points of easing by the year end is what we got after this morning, but rates have continued lower since then. Oh, let's jump over to Roku. All right, check this one out. Oh, look at this market, folks. Be careful. We're going into a 3-day weekend. Who knows what's about to happen? We get a lot of surprises this time. This go around, political or whatnot, or economical or AI. But we're going into a long weekend, President's Day on Monday, and we got markets selling off, man. Look at this. NASDAQ 100 is off 200 points from where we were when I just was getting ready for the program in the 2 o'clock hour. S&P's off 3. Coming right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. And yeah, we got markets selling off. We're looking at the home builders, though. And look at these home builders, man. KB, you're up by 3.7%. We got yields dropping. And folks, as somebody in real estate, okay, this is a move. There's your 10-year, man. And look at this thing. In the last couple of days, as I mentioned, you get the move on Wednesday, where you spike all the way down to 112. We're up a full 0.7 ticks since then. And you're going to basically get it all back in what? 4, 6, 7 trading days. Right? 8 days. From last Thursday, you were at 111.18. We might be up 2 full points by the time the day's over right now with the 10-year. So you take a look at these home builders, folks. Put them on your radar. It's not too late, I think, on this move. They've been particularly volatile, but you can Lennar up another 1.25%. Okay, you have a lot of strength back here in November. You pull back on lighter volume, a little more strength in January. You pull back on light volume again. Now, on a weekly basis, we really don't have the strength you'd want yet coming into this type of strength in November. But you're seeing what's happening right now is we have yields under pressure. And you better believe it would, folks. All right, KB up by 4%. Lennar, check out DR Horton up by 1.8% right now. Look at the volume on this move. This thing just traded from 137 to 167 right now. But boy, if you ever start seeing rate moves like this, folks, and I think we're gonna, okay, I've been talking about for a while. Look at this 10-year. Look at the volume. Look at the weekly move. Excuse me. Testing the highs of where we were last April. 4.08. Well, you start getting mortgages, and we're not even close to where we need to be for mortgages to be in a 5 handle, right? You can buy down your rate potentially, but if you just start getting normal mortgages at a 5 handle, let's see, we're probably at like 6.6, 6.5, something like that right now. Let's see what we got. I'm just Googling. What's the internet going to tell me? Yeah, they're saying it's as low as 6.1 right now. Okay. That seems a little spicy, but maybe it is. You had Fannie and Freddie with $200 billion. Yeah, we've had quite a little drop. Look at this. $6.15%. A 15-year fixed, 5.51. Yeah, 6.15. I was saying what, 6.4, 6.5. We've dropped a bit, I guess, from where we were in the 10-year. And that Fannie and Freddie, that got ahead of things as well. That was quite a cut as well. Now what happens is, right, so you start getting into a decent 5 handle, and then you have the ability to buy your rate down further, right? And so then you really get people that don't have to spend, buyers in the market where you don't have to spend an extraordinary amount of money to get your mortgage down to a 4, which is really hard right now where we are. All right, you can buy it down a bit. But you start pushing out at 4 mortgages. Watch out, folks. Market hasn't seen that forever. 4.05 as I speak. Hey, we might hit 4% by the time I'm done, man. And there's your 10-year, up by 13 ticks. We take a look at the yield curve. Your 10-year, as I mentioned, 4.05. You're down by 5 basis points, and that's after the rip lower yesterday. Your 2-year, right? Look at it. Down by 6 basis points, man. The 3-year down by 6. The 5-year down by 7 basis points. We start getting that type of action, folks. These home builders, we come back, we test the highs of 2021. Let's see what we're dealing with. This on monthly. Yeah, it'd be nice to see the volume pick up on a monthly basis on Lennar. There's your sign of strength from November, though. You pull back on lighter volume, and there's your strength, man. KBH on a monthly. And this is where, man, how about this, right? Still below where you were in 2005. No matter what you're trading, folks, get a stop in, okay? because you're talking about from $85 down to $5. And yeah, I don't think we have a home crisis going on like that. But did you think that Lennar could go from 200 to 100 in the span of a few months? No. So anything you're trading, no matter how good you think it is, don't just set it and forget it. Very few things you can do with that. Even in this world of high-tech companies that own everything, some of the valuations, you always want to keep in track, especially if you have a huge chunk of your portfolio, which could happen because equities have just run so much higher. I mean, you see the type of moves in Apple. Apple, 5% in a day yesterday, and now you're off 2.3% today. Didn't think it was possible for Apple without, they have news that they're pushing back some of their software they're pushing out. Folks, you're down 25%. You're down almost 10% in 3 days on news that's really not that remarkable. And that's how this market's lined up right now. There's just valuations. Pretty remarkable. Norwegian. So they got a new CEO. They name a director as their CEO effective immediately. And yeah, that's down 6.6. Let's take a look at these things. Look at this consolidation. Man, COVID ruins everything, and all you do is you chop around in the high teens to the low 20s. He said, I don't know. I got a lot of selling last. Well, let's take a look at the weekly on this thing. Hey, you just try and range trade this thing. You get down between 15 and 17.50. Look for a buy right now, and up to 25 to 27.50, man, this thing is capped. You're getting volume today, down by 6.5% on their numbers. Constellation, down by 8%. Whew. So they got a new CEO on April 13th as well. And their new CEO was previously CEO of Fortune Brands Innovations, a home and security products manufacturer. So Constellation's got a new CEO, down by 8%. They don't like that number, man. And yeah, this thing, that was some nice strength January 5th on their last earnings. But man, look at all this volume near the lows. Right? Look at all this weekly volume near the lows of last year. That's a problem. It's as low as 138. All right, S&P's rolling into the red, off by 13. NASDAQ 100, you're off by 18 right now. Market's coming right back into the lows of this morning, 68.38. We got 21 minutes left to go in trading, folks. I'm coming right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps right now down by 15 points as we get some selling, man. Coming into the lows of the afternoon, right into where we were at about 10 a.m. this morning. NASDAQ off by 0.1%, Dow off by 0.1%, S&P's off by 0.2%, and the Russell, loving those low rates, giving back some of the gains, and boy, talk about giving it back. Percentage-wise, 1% even off of the highs. Russell was up more than 2%, still up by about 0.9% on the Russell. Bitcoin up by $3,500, 68,940, but yields in focus. Yeah, coming right back to 4.05, just like that, 4% within an earshot. You jump over the dollar right now at 96.90. We check in on metals, gold up by $103, 5,051, and silver. Now, as I was talking about, folks, okay, you look at even the move the last 24 hours. Silver trades from 83 to 76, 77, and gold, meanwhile, trades from about 50.92 to 50.50. You got it all back, okay? You got none of it back in silver. If you're going to go to 50, this could be the way that it happens in silver. All right? You go from 82 to 73, up to 79, back to 76. Meanwhile, you just went from 83 to 77 when gold just traded down barely. Be careful, okay? You look at this monthly chart, folks. We should be so lucky if this run does not experience any pullback when we went straight up from 18 to 121, 18 to 121. Took you almost 4 years. And then you lose 50 of that in about 48 hours. The volume, vapor thin on this bounce today as well, 54,000 contracts. All right, let's talk a little Roku. Look at this move, give back, my goodness. Take a look at this thing. A pandemic darling, up to $500 on a couple occasions in 2021, and here we are, sitting at prices that we saw in 2019. We've been chopping around. You got as low as $38 in 2022. Now, on a shorter term basis, you know, you were at 100 in 2023. You were at 100 with some nice strength a year ago in February 25. And yeah, you got a bounce here, but how about the give back today? Now, check out these numbers. They're strong numbers. And they are a portal. We use them in my household. I got Rokus all over the place, but I don't pay anything. I buy a Roku. That's about it. I guess you can use them in the way that you use any portal. It was their best quarter ever for net adds to premium subscriptions. They made 53 cents versus 28. Revenue barely beat, though. Okay, so that's quite a beat percentage-wise, right? You're talking about quite a beat. They beat barely on revenue. The biggest driver of our subscriptions business, more and more services moving into a service like premium subscriptions instead of just doing their own app. Biggest quarter ever for net adds to premium subscriptions. The program lets users subscribe to different streaming services like HBO Max, Paramount, using a single login on the Roku platform. For the current period, they expect $1.2 billion. The market was looking for $1.16 billion. For the year, they're looking at 5.5. The market wanted 5.34, so they beat there as well. And they recently acquired Friendly, a live TV subscription streaming service, for $185 million. And they also launched an ad-free streaming service called Howdy. Now, I do watch a lot of live TV. Okay, they got a lot of live local news. They have a lot of live whatever that goes along with it. And I do watch a lot of that in my household. But I don't have to pay for that. They get to serve me ads, though. Improved ability to monetize streaming with its partnership with Amazon, a new ad tool for small and mid-sized businesses to tweak, and tweaks made to the front page for advanced ads. Well, on a weekly basis, that's a nice sign of strength off the bottom. Okay? I mean, the thing I like about trades like this, you get into this thing, I wouldn't give it much. Okay? $80. You could even hit the lows of today. Because if you're right, you're right. If this is the bounce after we just traded from 115 down to 80, don't give it more, man. You know, the other way to play a trade like this, if you think you might have more downside, because you're giving them back today. Look at this move. They're not buying it on the open, man. You just traded from 97 down to $87 intraday. You could always scale into that equity too. Because, yeah, on a longer-term basis, they're a portal. They're a portal to streaming. And that access, you know, somebody could always think about purchasing them. And even if they don't, okay, advertising a big component what they do. They're a $13.2 billion company. So that's not out of reach when you're talking about somebody like, and that's total speculation. But, you know, in the age of streaming wars, in the age of Paramount, and that battle going on, and just how little some of the money, as quite the pullback for Paramount. Right? Always faster and further than you may think, folks. And I still have some of this, and I'm going to hold it for a long, long term. Because I think they'll turn that company into something. But boy, faster and further than you think. Cut in half from September. Right back to where they took this thing over, basically, and went public at 1031. You're low out here at 995. And no strength there just yet. No strength there at all. All right, Warner Brothers down 0.4%. Netflix. Yeah, Netflix can't find a bid either, man. And Netflix is going to make a lot of money. But they're going to have to spend more money than the market wanted to make that money, right? Look at this pullback. Right at the 50%. From 16 to 134. Didn't think you'd probably do it, though, in the span of, what, almost 7 months? And you're not slowing down right now. That's a lot of volume, folks. That is sustained volume. Look at all this light volume we had up here from May until almost November. But really, that was your sign. You got all this selling. You got some selling here. Look, right. You come in with the selling. You bounce on lighter volume. You get some selling again. Looks like we have some strength. And then kaboom. You trade down to 110. And here we are at $76 for Netflix. Whew. NVIDIA just consolidating between about 170 and 192, 195, somewhere up here. You spiked to 212, but that was short-lived, a week or two. We've been up here now for, what, 7 months on NVIDIA? Check out AMAT as they run higher. Decent volume. Micron, this thing's a rocket ship. All right, we probably won't do it with volume, but we're going to engulf the prior week. And, you know, you're not going to take out last week, but last week was almost a record volume week. You're going to do almost 200 million shares as Micron engulfs the prior week. Strong. Down by 0.7 per today. Market's almost flat. Coming right back. One more segment, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now, negative by about 4 points, right where we were on the open. Quite a little roller coaster intraday, but right where we were at about 9:30 in the markets. NASDAQ 100, small bid coming into the markets again, right where we were coming into the open right now. Up about 0.1%. The Russell, loving that pullback in yield, up by 32 points or 1.2%. You take a look at the Russell. How's that for green? Look at Barrick up by 6% right now. Some of the gold stocks, of course, Coeur d'Alene up by 6%. Nova Gold, there you go, classic. Hecla. Ooh, look at Hecla. All right, let's take a look at Hecla. Look at this. You talk about volatility, man. Up by 8%, but not even getting back yesterday's gains. Oof, and look at the volume. Be careful here, folks, okay? If you've ever read Time of the Trade, how's that chart look for price and volume, right? Oh, man. That's quality volume to the downside right now, folks. Even on an 8% bounce where you're doing 15 million versus the 33 million you did yesterday, 18 you did the day before, and 14. The XAU, quite a bounce as well, up 5.3%. HUI up by 5.5% right now. Look at Rivian. That's a nice move. Look at the low volume this thing pulled out back in. I like it. Up 26%, even where we are right now. Don't think you always have to catch the bottom, folks. That's a nice sign of strength. That's a pullback on lighter volume. Look at that equity, man. S&P's negative by 5. We'll finish it up with gold. Why not? Gold up $99, up 2%, $5,047. And hey, listen, I think gold's going to be just fine. I think we're just a little bit on the extended side in metals right now, so protect yourself, folks. We got volatility right now in this market, that's for sure. Folks, have a great long weekend. We're closed for Monday for President's Day. Enjoy it. Be safe out there. Drinking and driving.